Want to learn CapCut quickly and easily? Perfect. I'll show you everything you need to start editing today. No confusing steps, no extra talking, just fast beginner guide. By the end of this video, you'll know how to import clips, cut and edit these clips, add text, add transitions, fix your lighting, fix your audio, add nice effects, and export the video in the best quality possible. All of this in one simple tutorial. And just a disclaimer, it's preferable to use CapCut on your computer, and this entire video will be about how to edit the CapCut in the computer. Let's get to work. So after you've created your project, in CapCut, everything you need is 3 places. The left side, where media, text, and audio effects are, with many other things. The timeline, where your clips will be during the edit. This is where you will spend most of your time. And the right side, which is for the adjustments of your video itself. So in order to start editing your video, first you need to import the desired media files. First you should click import and then select the footage you want to edit. After that, once it's been imported, drag it onto your timeline. Now a few basics, and like I said, on the computer you can zoom in onto the timeline using your touchpad if you want, just so you can pay attention to the details on your video. Once you've imported multiple clips, you can now drag and arrange them. Even if it's one clip, you can trim it, you can split it, you can cut it, and just arrange different parts of it at different points of the timeline. You can always use the keybind shortcut B for more quick and accessible cutting of your clip. And if you want to know more about the keybind shortcuts in CapCut, make sure to check out my video about this topic specifically. You can also press the delete button, which I believe is pretty self-explanatory. You just delete the clip from the timeline. And of course, you can always drag the edges of your video in case if you want to zoom in or zoom out, or remove the unnecessary parts of your video in the background. Now let's clean cut your video. When it comes to cutting the video, you should always move the playhead to the part where you want to start the cut. And like I said, you can either use the B shortcut in order to cut, or you can press the split button, which is very close to the timeline itself. After doing the split, you can delete the very awkward pause in your video, which is technically an audio gap. And by doing that, you are improving your video, because that's a very common beginner mistake. Beginners leave long pauses, keep the shaky shots in their video, and don't cut out the moments when they speak or ah. Just a tip, always cut your video tight so it remains watchable. Now, once you've trimmed and arranged the clips on your timeline, you gotta get to the transitions, what you should use and what you shouldn't use. So on the very left, what you can do is press the transitions button, which will direct you to the page with all sorts of transitions for every single scenario of the video. When you want to add a transition between your clips, you should click on it and drag it onto the timeline and place it between the 2 clips. And after that, you're done. It was added between your clips. After that, by kind of stretching it or making it more tight, you are adjusting the time it will take the transition to appear and go away. And my advice for you is to use neutral transitions, which are zooms, fade blacks, motion blurs. To me, they remain more watchable and don't exhaust the viewer as much. I named the most basic ones. Of course, at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide which you think is the most suitable one. But definitely avoid using too many fancy ones, because it will make your video lack professionality and it will exhaust the viewer. Remember, simple transitions look more professional. Now, once you've done that, you should move on to text and captions, which is a fundamental beginner skill. To add text on your video, go to text section on the left side of CapCut interface, press on it, and then go to add text. And in order to add it, you can just drag the add text onto the timeline, and after that you can start editing, selecting a font, adjusting the color, basically doing anything you want with that text specifically. For a talking video, you can always use auto captions feature, where CapCut will automatically add captions onto your video, after which you can edit them themselves and fix potential mistakes it made. Now for clean text, make sure to use bold fonts. Avoid too many outlines. Of course, keep it short so the viewer doesn't get exhausted reading all of this. And of course, always position the text correctly. Now, a color correction step. Of course, if you view on the far right side of the CapCut interface, after clicking on your clip, you can find the adjust section where you can color grade and color correct your video. Now, let me provide for you a perfect specification that you will need as a beginner. Adjust your exposure to 10, your contrast to also 10, highlights to -20, shadows to 10, and the temperature. You can be very flexible with it yourself, so I'm not going to suggest adjust anything specific. And don't forget about saturation being adjusted to 5 too. And here's the result. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. Keep it natural. Don't oversaturate or lower the highlights too much. Now adjusting the audio of your video. You gotta make it sound professional. Now again, when selecting your clip, you can find the audio section on the right side of the interface. After clicking on it, it will direct you to a page where you can adjust your audio. To improve your audio, you can use features like noise reduction for reducing the overall noise in the video, voice enhancement to enhance your voice specifically, auto normalization which normalizes your audio itself, and fade in and fade out in case if you want to make a cool transition between your audio. You can use separate audio, which is a better way of enhancing your voice because it will separate your voice specifically from the overall audio. If you have music in your video, lower it between -10 to -20 decibels depending on how loud it is whenever you're talking in a video. Don't let it collide with your voice or overpower it, because remember, good audio means your video will be more interesting to watch. Now once you've done that, let's do effects, overlays, and overall special features. I know effects sound fun, but remember to use them wisely. You can direct to the left side of your interface to the effects section, and after clicking on it, you can find various of effects for literally every kind of video you want. But as a beginner, you gotta use good ones, but at the same time simple ones, like blurs, slow zoom in and zoom out, maybe some that are adjusting the brightness. What you can also use is the motion blur feature, which is available on the right section of the interface. After clicking on your video and just scrolling down in the video section, you'll find motion blur, which is actually a very strong tool, making your video more smooth. Now you gotta play around with it yourself because it is unique to every video when it comes to making it smooth. You can also add overlays on top of your video like filters. If you direct to the left side of the interface, you can find the filter section. After clicking on it, you'll get a huge list of any filter you want in case if you want to add a more cinematic look to your video. Now final touches for your video. Now for final touches, remember to stabilize your clips in case if there are shaky moments. And again, you gotta go to the right side of the interface, scroll down in the video section, and you'll find the stabilize button. You can also use a speed curve, which will help you adjust the speed of your video in case if you want to do that. And of course, you can use the features like optical flow that make your slow motion more smooth. And of course, review everything else in your video overall. See if you can add anything else. Search around the CapCut interface itself if you want to find something specific. Remember, in this video, I only mentioned the main things, but there are many more add-ons in the CapCut itself. When you're ready, click export, and the perfect setting for you as a beginner would be using 1080 pixels, 60 FPS, and of course, it being an MP4 file. Once done, hit export and your video will be done. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This was my CapCut crash course, and if this helped you out, make sure to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you don't miss out on next videos, like this video to support me because I am really doing my best to help you guys be professional video editors. Let me know in the comments down below what else do you want me to cover in CapCut or maybe any other app specifically, and I'll see you everyone next time, and take care.